Hi, everyone. It's Bill Fairman, Wendy Sweet, and Jonathan Davis. And we are fortunate enough to have one of the legends in real estate joining us today. And we can't wait to get this episode started. We kind of teased it in our earlier show with, is it worth it to invest in programs to better yourself and your businesses? We're going to find out even more right after this. So now I'm getting grief because my teases are getting a little bit too long.
You stretching it out.
All right. So thanks again for joining us on our Active Income Passive Wealth show. We are Carolina Capital Management. We do short-term loans in the Southeast for real estate investors. If you're interested in borrowing money, go to carolinahardmoney.com. Click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking for passive returns, click on the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, share, all that good stuff. And by the way, before I get even any further, Cash Flow Expo starting now, as a matter of fact. We'll put a link on how to get to the Cash Flow Expo. 3 days worth of real estate investing folks talking about their spaces. It's well worth it. Click the link and you can get the recordings as well, because we're going to want you to listen to us first.
Yeah, and don't worry about what you're missing.
And also to throw in there, we don't just do short-term loans. We now do 30-year term
That's
investor,
right.
30-year
That's right.
term investor loans.
Tell all your
Unfortunately, I have a short-term memory and I didn't remember to bring that up.
Yeah.
So
Tell your friends rates starting in the low fours.
Yeah, tell all your friends.
and don't
Sure.
forget, to the right of your screen or to the bottom of your screen, depending on the platform that you're viewing us from, we do have a comment section and we encourage you to ask a question.
Yes,
Okay?
please.
So Wendy, your turn.
Oh,
Introduce our guest.
You have the
That's
honor.
awesome.
You have
That's
the
awesome.
honor.
So, folks, we if you've been in this business for any length of time, you've heard Ron LeGrand's name. And one of the great, wonderful benefits that we get for being members of some really incredible masterminds is we get to meet the legends.
Yep.
And learn from the best. And it is our great pleasure today to introduce to you Ron LeGrand, the Millionaire Maker.
Hello.
Hey, Ron. Thank you so much for joining us.
You know what I was just thinking, watching you guys? I was thinking when I started back in 1982, I was broke and clueless, so I borrowed money from a hard money lender. And guess what my rates were? I paid 18% interest, 10 points, and 6 months interest prepayment penalty.
Good
Wow.
grief.
Wow.
And I got tired of doing that, so I only did it 76 times before I started finding my own money.
And obviously you made money doing that, right? Or you wouldn't be
Every
doing
single
that.
time. And 60% loan to value ratio.
That's amazing.
Actually in 1982, that wasn't too far from the regular going rates, because I bought a house, my first home in 1978. Jimmy Carter was president. My FHA rate was 14.5%. Of course, they didn't charge me 10 points.
Yeah, and it got up to 18%.
Wow.
And people
That's
complain
something
about
else.
the price of the money nowadays.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
When you've been in the real estate industry for so long, rates are relative. People bought homes when rates were high. People will buy homes when rates are low. It doesn't really matter. One of the great things about being in this business is constructing the deal. Deals are still going to be made one way or another. We just have to move with how the market allows those opportunities to happen. So you started to answer my first question. How and when did you get started in the real estate business?
March 12th, 1982, when I attended my very first seminar, because I was working on cars and broke and clueless and lost and not happy with where my life was going. And so I found some information about how to go buy houses with no money or credit, and that appealed to me because I didn't have either one of those. And sure enough, that put me into a 2-day seminar, of which I got about 4% of, I understood. But I went out, my first deal was a wholesale deal, and then I quickly started paying cash for them through the use of the hard money. See, I didn't realize that you could actually go borrow money on houses based on the equity and without the credit and all of that stuff. So that hard money launched my career, really.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's right.
I don't know why they call it hard money. They ought to call it soft money. It's a whole lot easier to open a bank loan.
They call it easy money.
That's right. It is. It's just a challenge to pay it back.
I mean, if you're
Not if
buying
the
right,
deal's right.
he did it 76 times.
That's right.
I did.
It's a way it's a way to scale your business. That's all.
No. Well, Ron, I guess two things. First is how does it feel to be referred to as the biggest influence of a lot of real estate investors in their career? I mean, how do you even handle that?
Well, I don't have any problem handling it. I've been around almost 40 years now, and about 33 of those have been teaching other people how to do the business. But I'm proud to be in a position where I've helped so many thousands of people launch their lives and their careers. And looking back, I wouldn't change anything. There's a lot of stupid things I did. I'd change those. but I kind of like where I'm at today, and I'm still doing the same thing today, helping folks get where they want to go in life. Well, I mean, what better thing can you do than that?
Yeah. I know the last time I was at the Collective Genius Mastermind, I mean, you were there, and everyone I talked to, they were just telling me how you influenced their career, which it was great to hear those stories. But since I've heard all those,
so old.
well, since I've heard all their stories, who was your biggest influencer in real estate?
Tell you the truth, I didn't have one big influencer. Back then, I'd go everywhere I could. I'd go to every seminar. I could grab what I can. I got a pickup truck full of books and tapes. Back then there was 8-tracks. That became cassettes. That became, but I picked up a little bit here and a little bit there, and didn't really have any system in place. So it took me about 7 years to figure out what real estate was all about. But, I was making more than a living, but not much more than a living, because I didn't understand really what to do and what not to do. And all I could think about was buying cheap crap, and I was making small money each house, but it was still better than working on a job. And then I started learning more about automation and systemization as technology came along. And today, honestly, it's the easiest time I ever seen in my almost 40-year career to buy and sell houses. There's just not much to do.
Yeah, and it's really amazing how real estate has really changed. I've been in it 20 years, and just from what I've seen in the past 20 years is amazing. I can only imagine what that change must look like for you, especially everything's online now. Before we had to hit the streets, right?
I remember when I had to go to an MLS book. It was about that thick. That's the only place I could find houses.
That's right. I remember those books. Our mother was in real estate when we were kids. So, she'd bring home those, 3-inch binders every month that had all the new houses that were in there. And it was just amazing to watch. And to write up a contract, you had carbon paper.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Kids today don't know what that is.
That's right. That's exactly right. So you talked about that your first deal was really a wholesale deal, and then you started flipping houses. So and there's so much to choose from in the real estate sector. I mean, all the different options that you can make money. What's your favorite?
Well, I've done well over 1,000 wholesale deals and well over 1,000 rehab deals. But today I like doing terms deals, which means we get terms from the seller on nice houses in nice neighborhoods. And then we put lease option tenant buyers in there and make money up front. I get big thousands of dollars of non-refundable option deposits, and then we get a monthly cash flow and get money on the back end. Then we get debt pay down, we get depreciation, we get appreciation. So we get all of those goodies that come along with real estate that you don't get with wholesaling and or rehabbing. So today, I mean, I don't mind doing a few rehabs a year, but the terms business is just so much more profitable, builds wealth so much faster, and cash flow and residual income, not just getting one check and have to keep doing it over. But I like for people to learn it all and become transaction engineers so they can take advantage of whatever kind of deal comes at them, and they don't lose a good deal based on what they don't know. And private money, hard money, is used in both the ugly house and the pretty house business. So it's kind of an important thing along the way as well. So the more you learn, the more you earn.
That's so true. I love the way that you use the term engineer, a deal
Transaction
engineer.
engineer.
And a deal architect. It's really a puzzle you have to put together, right?
Well, I don't know. It seems like a puzzle in your beginning days, I guess, but after a while, there's only a few different types of deals. They're not that complicated, really, especially the cash deals. I mean, make an offer, get to a number you like, and pay cash for the house, not complicated. But in the terms business, it's a little bit more complicated because there are 2 or 3 different types of terms, and still, none of it is that hard to learn. The important part is implementation, which is harder than the learning.
You got that.
Oh, yeah, he's 100% right. Yeah, it's not learning it; it's actually doing it. So, ask you this question. I think I might know the answer, but our viewers, have you ever lost money in real estate? And then, how did you rebound after losing money in real estate?
I hadn't until 2008.
Wow.
2008, I was developing 32 projects simultaneously in 9 different states. Then September of 08 came, and Lehman went down, and that changed everything worldwide, and it hasn't been the same since. So I lost a lot of my money, and I lost a lot of other investors' money during that time because those projects just simply were not savable. To this very day, most of them haven't even been moved forward. So it was kind of a tough time, but I got through it by continually doing what I know how to do, and that's single-family houses. They have never failed me. And if I've lost money on any of them, I can't remember it because it's just too easy to do single-family houses and make money on them, as long as you learn the ropes first and don't go in there and just make stupid offers, not have any idea what you're doing. I tell you what, I've never seen a time where there's so many stupid offers being made out there.
Yeah.
I don't know where these investors come from. I swear, I think the TV shows are bringing them in, but they're paying crazy prices for these houses that need work, these junkers. So it's a really good time to be wholesaling houses. What's a really good time to be retailing them and cashing out of them, too, because as you guys know, they're selling pretty much as fast as they put them out there. We got a big housing shortage in this country right now, but that's this cycle. As you mentioned, I've been through 6 of those cycles, so I've never seen a time, however, when people didn't need to sell houses and other people didn't need to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my question for you was how 2008 looked for you, and so you've already answered that, so I'm going to move on to something else.
Please do, don't depress me.
So you're talking about the buying on terms and doing lease purchase type options. I know there's a lot of states that are specific about allowing those. So in your courses, are you teaching how to do different types of contracts based on the states that they're doing business with? Because I know in North Carolina, you can't have a lease purchase. You have to have a purchase and a lease agreement separately to kind of put them together.
Well, are we buying or are we selling, Bill?
Well, if you're picking up the house on terms and then you're going to turn around and put a tenant in it.
Yeah, we do that all the time in North Carolina. So
well, I know if you're...
Is the option agreement different or separate from the lease agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, it would be anyway, no matter what state I'm in. My option agreement is separate from my lease agreement.
Okay.
So,
I know that there were some states.
They don't have the option to buy.
Right.
Excellent.
In North Carolina, you have to record the memorandum of option, I think might be what you're getting to.
Okay. Yeah, obviously I'm not doing very many of those.
I'd say a whopping 0.
I got students at every state. That doesn't mean I know every state law, but there are different rules in some states. But you can buy on terms and sell on terms in any state.
Well, I read something about you that said that you teach old school fundamentals, but that you might be lacking in the new niches. And I'm thinking when I'm reading this, I'm going, well, isn't the old school fundamentals way more valuable than the niche that might not be around in 2 years?
Hey, I'm glad people even know I'm still alive. Some of them think I'm dead, you know. So, you don't know anybody more on the cutting edge of this business than us here at Global Publishing, because I'm telling you, you know, when you teach, you have to stay on the cutting edge.
Absolutely.
And I still teach. I still teach my own events. They're mostly virtual now. But in fact, I'm teaching another event next week, and I've updated the entire manual for that event with a bunch of new stuff in it. But you're right, the fundamentals have not really changed.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, real quick, I had an 8-track tape player stolen out of my car, so I go back a little ways too.
Well, now I don't know where you get the tapes anyway, so I'm not sure.
So Ron, you touched a little bit about your training and you know, that it's online now. So, and that you've got one coming up. Of course, we want to hear about that, but can you talk a little bit about what your program is like and what students can expect to come away with?
Well, I have several programs. I have the training. I have a 4-day school where we do the basic training. Then we have mentoring where we work with them one-on-one for 6 months. But you know, I'm not here to do a pitch for anything. So if they want to go to my website, they can find out everything that we have. And I have several courses on several different subjects, from houses to entity structuring and asset protection and stuff like that. RonLegrand.com's got all that stuff on it. A bunch of free stuff too, including my book.
Free stuff. Did I hear that word?
Yeah, we got free stuff. A lot of free stuff, actually.
You know, when our talk that we had right before we brought you on, we were talking about how important it is to take advantage of the free stuff that's out there. People think they have to pay big money to learn stuff, and that's simply not true. There's great resources out there that you can get your hands on for free.
Yeah.
And now they've heard it here. They can go to Ron LeGrand's website and get some really good stuff for free. That's awesome.
Start by getting his free book.
Yeah, there's your free book. Tell me about your book.
Well, it's all about how to buy and sell houses without using your money or credit. What else would you like to know?
That's pretty good.
It's literally a seminar in a book.
Really?
Step by step, yeah.
And I like that you're using earbuds.
Yeah,
in part of the picture.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
that shows that you're on the
I
cutting
saw
edge.
that, huh? Yeah, man, I'm cool. I'm hip. But you can't see the crew sitting behind the scenes here, making sure I don't make a mess like I did the last time.
I'll tell you, Ron,
all that smart to do what I do.
That was so funny. We got such a kick out of that, and so did our viewers. That was really funny. So I have a question for you, though. What advice would you have for a newbie, somebody coming, you know, right off the Home and Garden TV show for that weekend, and they want to get into real estate?
Well, first of all, I would say better be very careful to whom you listen. There's an awful lot of people out there teaching crap. You know, to go to 2 houses, and I'm an expert now. Be very careful to whom you listen, and make sure that they're doing what it is that they're trying to teach you to do, and that they are qualified to share that information. I mean, everybody has got information. Everybody can share information, but back to your free stuff thing, I differ with you a little bit. Free stuff is great to get started, and we got tons of it. I mean, go to YouTube. I must have 1,000 videos on there. But that's not where you're going to really learn the business. And to think that somebody's going to take you by the hand and train you for free is rather naive, in my opinion. My 4-day training event costs money, but it's a fraction of your first deal. But by and large, the price that one is going to pay for training, no matter where they get it, is very insignificant in the amount of money that they can make. Usually one deal will pay for all the training that you can get wherever you get it. But to try to think you're going to get all that for free, put yourself in the trainer's position. Why would anybody train you for free? You know, what do they get out of it? So be real and expect you're going to pay for an education one way or the other.
Yep.
Well, yeah, what I like to say about that is that the only way you're going to lose money by investing in yourself is by not implementing what you learn.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we see
that's
that
true.
all the time. I know
sure.
Larry Goins has a famous saying, we're not here to give you shelf help. It's called
Yeah.
self-help.
That's correct. And I tell you right now, at Global Publishing, see, we've got all that implementation already done for them. All they got to do is step in and follow the steps. Everything's outsourced for them. People calling their leads for them, taking their calls for them, making their calls for them. So that's why I said today it's never been any easier. And that helps. See, you're right. Training is one thing, but if the implementation is not there, it's worthless. So we have the implementation packed in with the training to make it a lot easier. That's why our success rate is so high. That's why I've been around so long. You know, if you're not teaching the right stuff that works, you're not going to be around long.
Sure.
Agreed. So,
Yeah.
Well, and that's amazing that you have that in your program. It's, that's unusual. It's really unusual. You're really taking them to the next level on what you're teaching them.
Well, it's only been 20 years in the building, Wendy. It's an overnight success.
well, listen, to grow a business, it takes a team, and it's a lot better if you can walk in and have a team already built for you. You need the automation because it's very
That's
difficult.
basically what they have. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you do a lot of good for newbies. What kind of advice do you have for seasoned investors?
Well, the first advice I would have is get the hell out of your own way and let other people start doing everything for you. 'Cause
Amen, brother.
You're not that smart, and you're not that important for that matter. And so the more you get systemized and the more you get automated, the more time you have to do what it is you want to do in life and not swap hours for dollars every day and be in the minutia trap. That was a very hard lesson for me, I can tell you that. And then focus on revenue, focus on cost control, focus on making the money, because if you're the leader, you're the one running the business, you're the only one who cares about the revenue, so to speak. And it's your job to make sure that what needs to get done gets done to get to that point. You've heard that a lot from the folks at Collective Genius. When they finally realize, let me do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is making decisions, let other people do all that other stuff, which can do usually a lot better than I can anyway, especially in my case. If you relied on me to provide the technology, we would not be having this conversation here today.
That's
You
right.
already found out.
That's right.
That's not what I do. Okay, so get out of your own way. Get good quality help. Doesn't have to be employees. It can be outsourced. Focus on the revenue, and things will change very quickly when you finally get it, which is difficult for men because last thing we want to do is follow instructions. We don't do that. We make our own instructions. And B, if the wheel's round, we can make it rounder for sure. And if it's working perfectly, we have to fix it, right, Wendy?
That's right.
That's right. That's what men do.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I should have a sign in my office. If all else fails, read directions.
Yeah. That's step one. Step two, go back to step one.
That's right. That's right. We were just talking yesterday. I love that what you're talking about, getting out of your way and that getting out of your own way. The other thing that I'm surprised that so many people in this business don't do is they don't look at their financials as a guideline of where they've been and where they're going. We were just discussing yesterday about how we know a guy that has 180 doors and he can't produce a P&L.
Well, that's incredible he ever got to 180 doors.
That's exactly. And then I start to think, gosh, how far could he be down the road if he had?
Yeah. And while you're at it, think about all the people that are constantly in the flipping business and how many times you think they've asked themselves, what if I'd have kept some of those houses along the way?
Good point.
I'd be free and clear by now, and I'd be in Fat City. I like that residual income, Wendy. I'm trying to get people to focus on that residual that comes in, whether you're here or not, or live or dead or whatever. And that's that monthly cash flow. But, of course, those big checks they come in handy. I get it. I understand. But people sometimes get so fixated on that in the beginning days, 20 years later, they're still doing the same thing. And they still got to get up and go to work every day or they don't make any money. That's not my idea of a good business.
No, you're right.
From hero to zero in one closing, right?
Yeah. And then from Guru, 2 more.
Well,
Ron, thank you so much for joining us. We're at the
can
top,
we throw
top
up
of
his
the hour.
URL? Your
Yeah.
URL.
Yeah, we
Excuse
want
me.
we want to know how people can get in touch with you. I think we have that on
It's
Yeah, we-
hard.
We have it on the screen, ronlegrand.com.
Yeah. Yeah, just got to spell my name right. That's all. Okay. No need for the capitals, just ronlegrand.com. And listen, it's a pleasure. I always like working with folks who really get it. So, anytime you want me back on and focus on a subject, just let me know. I'm happy to come back.
We
I
are
don't have a
going
whole
to
lot
take
more to
you
do.
up on that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
You
Thank
can
you.
count on it.
Have a great day. And folks, thank you so much for joining our show. It's Active Income, Passive Wealth Show. I messed it up on the 3rd or 4th try. I
Yeah,
think.
you should be a guru about
Carol-
that.
You sound a little scratchy.
Yeah, I
You need
didn't have
some
enough.
Throat lubrication.
We are Carolina Capital Management. We make loans in the Southeast. So if you're interested in borrowing money, carolinahardmoney.com. Click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking to get passive returns, click on the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell. And lastly, don't forget, if you want to get some education, the Cash Flow Expo has already started. You can register now. Ticket price can include the recording, so you can pick up what you've missed. And it is for 3 days. I know it's hard to sit in front of a screen for 3 days, but it's well worth it to have the recordings. So,
And check out Ron LeGrand's book on
Yeah.
ronlegrand.com.
Get it for free.
Yeah, that's
It-
pretty
it
awesome.
was so
I can't
awesome
wait to have
having
him
him on.
back.
I'm gonna go get it.
I know. I can't wait to have him back.
all right, you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.